Hey guys, my name's James Edmund, and I want to talk to you about mental illness. Not many people understand, unless they've got it, what it actually is like to live day by day with mental illness. So I'm trying just to shed a little bit of light on what people with mental illness actually go through day by day. If you can just for a minute imagine the pain that's silent, that you don't see. You might look at someone and they have a smile on their face, but truly they're falling apart. Their experiences, things that have happened to them in their past, things that are happening right now, are affecting them in ways that not many people understand. For instance, myself. I have post-traumatic stress and depression. I've had suicidal tendencies, I have anxiety and breakdowns, and not many people actually get to see what it's like to watch someone go through that or to experience that. I know I've put a lot of pressure on my family, my friends, and my partner, and for them to watch as I deteriorate and go through this self-destruction has to be quite hard for them without them not knowing what to do, how to get me to smile or to be happy. So the point of this video is just to shed some light on the way people with mental illness think. So not many people with mental illness do this. I've found it as a way of release. I have an art diary and another diary of just writings and different bits and pieces. As you can see, here's mine. It's quite thick. There's bits and pieces about things I've been through personally, things I'm going through personally, different writings, understanding depression and anxiety, and I want to read just a small portion of something I've written about my mental illness. How does mental illness affect who I am? Well, it doesn't affect me in a life-consuming way, but it does affect my day-to-day living. PTSD has changed the way I react to certain situations, like how I react in tense and confronting situations. There are two choices, fight or flight. I take the fight approach. Sometimes I don't know if that's the best one, and I don't know when to stand down. I don't have to win, but I need to protect myself and my well-being, even if the threat is minimal. I don't back down as often as I should, which usually results in me taking control and becoming what I fear and turning into the abuser and aggressor that I dealt with in the past. It always makes me hate myself after the fact, and while I'm in that, I know what I'm doing is wrong. That's when the depression kicks in and takes hold. I hate who I'd become, and I despise myself becoming the thing that I feared, and I'm lowering myself to. I don't cope the same way other people do. I try, and more often than not, I can control my emotions and reactions, but when I slip, I don't just stumble and fall. I fall from such a height, it is detrimental to my well-being and the people surround me. My mood management and self-control is slipping. It has a lot to do with my not having antidepressants at the moment, but it still has some to do with my not coping. I try my hardest not to use my condition as a crutch to lean on, but in fact it makes me feel ashamed at times to be like this. I don't want to be who I am. I wish I could be normal and live a normal life, but obviously someone somewhere has a different plan for me. A lot of people have told me only the strong are tested the hardest, but my strength has never been enough to cope with this falling. My hope diminishing, my faith gone. People say it gets better, but as soon as it looks like it is, and there's a shine of hope, a way forward, I'm pushed back into a black hole with no light inside. I've asked for help. I'm back on my antidepressants. I've seen hardcore psychologists, but I'm not moving anywhere. I'm stagnant, stuck with no way forward and no way back. I'm wasting away in purgatory. Every action I make, thought I have, word I say, I seem to regret even if it was the right thing. I hurt the people I love the most, but I seem to hurt everyone. Is it worth continuing on a path going nowhere and being stuck in a pit of black? Self-hate, loathing, and no love. I'm destroying myself and all I hold dear, and I can't seem to change anything. I can't seem to break free. No future, only a past littered with pain, loss, and sorrow. How is someone supposed to live like that? How is someone supposed to shine? Another note, just a short one. Darkness has no name, but sorrow is his friend and love his foe. Light his brother and night his domain. Quite a dark thought. I've been in counselling for God since I can remember, and it works, but sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes I need my meditation or my artwork or my writing or just listening to music. Different things help different people, and sometimes nothing helps at all. But I've learned not to wear a mask as much as I used to. Some days I feel just like crying, just like falling apart. And in those moments I do still wear a mask, just to hide how I actually am feeling, to make sure that the people around me aren't brought down by my feelings and my sorrow. And I know that sometimes that's appropriate and sometimes it isn't, but masks are a great thing for everyone, even people without mental illness. I'm getting a lot better in asking for help, for actually saying I need someone. I'm not feeling that crash hot. Can you help me? It's hard. Day to day, I wake up and I go through the motions, and I feel like falling apart, and no one gives a shit. No one cares. But I do know that I have support if I need it, and I should use it more often, but sometimes it feels like a weakness to ask. With everyone else who's got their own problems, be it money or fighting or relationship or any of those, you feel like you're going to hurt them more by asking for help and put more pressure on them, even though they're there to help you and to help support you and they love you. But it's a silent battle that doesn't show. You walk alone, and you'll meet other people who are exactly the same, who are going through the same battles, but it's hard. Some days you might have thoughts about just ending it all, and believe me, I've been through that. I've had quite a few of those moments. But it's not giving in. You have to find that strength somehow, and remember that, yeah, it might end the pain quickly, but what you leave behind, I can't bring myself to do that, because I am trying to protect the people I love from what's going on in here. So for me to end that suffering of mine, and knowing that if I did, bringing a suffering to everyone around me, makes me ashamed of being who I am and having this illness. And knowing that there's no full cure, I'll never be the same as I was. A lot of people won't. And it's hard to find light. It's hard to see the silver lining, but you've got to try. And for the people out there watching this who don't have a mental illness, I hope this gives you a slight insight into what it's like, and maybe in a way you might be able to help by understanding a little bit more. I'm gonna stop talking now because I think I've gone on for long enough, but just remember that people are there, they love you. You might feel like shit now, but tomorrow you might feel better. Maybe in a week, maybe in a month, maybe never, but there's always hope. Somewhere, someone is gonna give it to you if you can't find it yourself. sometimes the easiest thing to say, I need help, is the hardest thing to say. And it's fighting to get there that is the battle. But once you do, you can find a way forward, hopefully, and be who you are. Love and peace to all.